Further in depth, we bring in our esteemed panel. Joining us from New York, health policy expert Betsy McCaughey. Joining us here on set, Nick Tate, Newsmax deputy health editor. Hey, both of you, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to be talking about healthcare for a long time to come, right?
Yes, we are.
Always at the top of our newscast. And Betsy, I want to start with you. Obamacare architect Jonathan Gruber, we heard his comments yesterday. Everybody's still talking about it right now in Washington, D.C. Several times talking about the stupidity of the American voter. We heard Mitch McConnell say right there they haven't been honest from the beginning. What's some of your reactions right now about some of the Republican comments? We lost Betsy on that. So, Nick, I'm going to turn to you. It just seems like, you know, the Republicans couldn't have ordered up a better scenario as they tried to repeal some elements of the Affordable Care Act. What do you think? Is this going to work? Are they going to start to get maybe some congressional hearings as a result?
Well, they've had the Republicans have had kind of a run of successes recently. Certainly the midterm elections, the problems with the enrollment period last year, and now with a new enrollment period beginning tomorrow. Expectations are that there are going to continue to be problems. So if the Republicans were looking for a plate to say, here's the setting for the table, let's move forward and get some reforms, they really have an opportunity. The question is, will these comments light a fire under the Republican leadership to really get some reforms? Will we see more sort of ceremonial repeal votes that go nowhere because the president will veto those laws to repeal Obamacare outright? Or will we see them, you know, really buckle down and say, here are 3, 4, 5, 6 things we can do to really have an impact that will help consumers, that will help our voters, our constituents, and help American businesses get back on track?
Betsy, glad we got you back on the line. We want to ask you some questions right now concerning this. You know, so much has been made about the Jonathan Gruber comments. In the end, it was just a stupid comment. It really shouldn't have anything to do with the implementation and really what happens with the Affordable Care Act. Or you think there's something there and it could possibly change the law?
Well, it's reflective of the approach the Obama administration has taken from the beginning, which is to sell Obamacare with a pack of lies. You can keep your doctor if you like your doctor. You can keep your health plan if you like your health plan. You're going to save $2,500 a year when, in fact, the truth is the Affordable Care Act isn't affordable. But nevertheless, whether Gruber made these comments or not, we are entering a perfect storm for repeal. It's a perfect storm for repeal because the voters spoke very clearly when they went to the polls on Election Day. Obamacare was on that ballot and they repudiated it. They trounced it. Now we're entering a period where there will be additional problems with the website. You wonder why the United States government, supposedly the largest power in the free world, can't run an online shopping site that Bloomingdale's or Walmart or Amazon can run. And then we're going to see about 30 million people lose their on-the-job coverage in the coming months. And when they hear that, they're going to join the chorus for repeal. And then finally, of course, if the Supreme Court rules in June, as is expected, the cost of Obamacare plans for people who currently get subsidies is going to quadruple. I mean, go up 400%, and that will be the end of Obamacare.
A man who was in the middle of it all, former White House Press Secretary Jay Carney, was asked about Mr. Gruber's comments. Let's take a listen to what he had to say and then get your reaction, Betsy.
It's not good, Jake. It doesn't help when someone who helped write not only Obamacare, the President's Affordable Care Act, but also the precursor to it, which was Governor Romney's health care reform initiative in Massachusetts, you know, speaks from the ivory tower with remarkable hubris about the American voter and, by extension, the American Congress.
So that was Jay Carney, the former press secretary. Betsy, you mentioned this perfect storm. Do you think the American public is expecting the Republicans to do something on the Affordable Care Act in light of what happened in the midterm elections?
Well, there's no question about it, and they're not going to settle for being thrown a few crumbs like the repeal of the medical device tax. People didn't go out and turn out in this election and man the phone banks and get their neighbors and friends to vote because they wanted to get rid of a device tax. They want to see that job-killing employer mandate repealed. They want to see the freedom-killing individual mandate repealed. They want to see that corrupt bailout of insurance companies repealed. They want to see that 15-member unaccountable IPAB board that's supposed to ration care for seniors. They want to see that repealed.
All right, Betsy, we're going to have you stick around for our next segment. And I also want to talk to Nick a little bit about enrollment starts Saturday. Some of the expectations coming up. They're saying maybe 9.9 million people will be signing up over the next 3 months. We'll talk about that on the other end of this break. You're watching the Friday edition of America's Forum right here on Newsmax TV. Hope you're having a great day.